Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jordan Cody, and tonight I'll be talking about the demographic imperative for intercultural confidence written by Myron Lustig and Jolene Coster. Now, before I dive into the primary material of their work, I'd just like to preface it by pointing out the importance and significance of it. America has been called a melting pot many times before because we are so diverse. We have a lot of uniqueness. We are a collection of individuals from different backgrounds, different cultures, beliefs, religions, norms, all thrown together trying to coexist and cohabitate this country and live the best life that we can. And whether we acknowledge it or believe in it, our cultures are mixing. You see it when you step outside. You go into any public facility, there will be someone there that is different than you, from a different background, a different race, a um, different culture. Our cultures are mixing, and I'm here to talk about the demographic part of that. So, according to Lustig and Koster, we are currently in the midst of perhaps the largest and most extensive wave of cultural mixing in recorded history. Everything is so easy, everything is so intertwined that we can't control it, we can't prevent it, nor should we. It's just happening, and it's having major effects. And right now, the U.S. population is more than 308 million. 62.3% are European American, 16.3% are Latino, 12.6% are African American, 4.8% are Asian American, 1.1% are Native American. Since 2000, half of the U.S. Population growth has been Latino. Also, the Asian American growth has been 43%. If this keeps up, by 2050, the U.S. population will reach 439 million. Only 46% will be European American, 30% will be Latino, 14% African American, 9% Asian American, and 1% Native American. What this means is we are no longer isolated and cut off from other ethnic groups and other cultures. Currently, we're 62.3% European American. If their estimations are correct, 46% in 2050 of European American. What this means is this is no longer white America, white male reality. Those numbers are decreasing while the minorities are going up, and this is leading to what Lustig and Koster call a minority majority figure. What this means is the minorities, when combined together, will create a higher percentage than the European American. We see it already today in states like California, Hawaii, New Mexico, Texas, and in some cities, Atlanta, Chicago, and even here in Fresno. We are adding more diversity and more mixture than the European American descendant than ever before. We are adding those to the current status quo that already is the 62.3% of European Americans, and over time we will have a more diverse culture. And Lustig and Koster quote William A. Henry on page 3, and he calls it the browning of America. And he says this will alter everything in society from politics and education to industry values and cultures. What this means is that once we integrate more minorities mixed in with European Americans, this will create a browning effect, such as skin color. People for African Americans, Latinos, and Asians have traditionally darker skin than the European Americans. This will create the browning effect, and we will shed stereotypes, and we will infiltrate things such as politics, education, industry, values, and culture, and this will have a very transformative effect on it. The beliefs and the stereotypes will no longer be predictable. We will not just be able to, or we will not just look at someone and expect that they think a certain way or associate a certain way. This will no longer happen. This will be a very evolutionized process that will lead to something that is unprecedented here in America. Furthermore, the fact that people are becoming more comfortable with multiple racial and cultural identities, as well as closed-minded beliefs such as interracial dating and breeding. People are marrying and affiliating themselves with people of different races and ethnic backgrounds and cultures, and making this a more inclusive process. And we see it on small scales such as families. We see it. We see this expand to larger things, such as school systems, even from elementary school and college institutions today. Lustig and Coster say that the shift can be seen in every major cultural and social institution. They say this on page 5. 1 in 5 speak a different language at home, and then there are 92 different religions you can find in a Los Angeles County elementary school. So this is no longer a one-stop predominant expectation. This is a culture, a mixed culture environment here in America, and it's transformative. And we can't stop it. It's inevitable, and it should be encouraged and embraced completely. I've seen it in my life many times. I'm from a small town in North Carolina. I spent 7 years in the Marine Corps. When I left that small town of seeing the same monotonous things day in and day out, and I go experience the world and experience different cultures, my best friends and my family, there were 12 guys. Almost all of them came from a different background, had a different belief, had a different perspective on life, had different little things about them that were different from me, and that was my first time ever experiencing that. And to tie this into today's life, I recently went to a wedding on New Year's Eve, and it wasn't a white wedding, it wasn't a African American wedding or a Mexican wedding. There was a mixture of culture there, and from each table had was not segregated. There were many people from different races or religions all scattered amongst each other, and it was one all-inclusive event, and it was very welcoming and encouraging to anyone of any background that was there, and just your physical presence was enough. And this is the primary focus of the demographic imperative by Logan and Coster, that over time we add more people to the mix. This plays a part into the intercultural competence. They say that we are in the largest wave of cultural mixing in recorded history. This is why the more people we add to the mix, the more the culture spreads and we mix together. We're no longer isolated. It's no longer white, black, Hispanic, so on and so forth. We are all together, and our culture touches theirs touches ours, so on and so forth. And over time, it will all be one. Thank you. Have a nice night.